Alright, Shenandoah National Park, just off Skyline Drive. I'm gonna hike the highest point in the park, which is Hawksbill. I think I'm about 3,700 feet or so. I guess I'm, based off this, I'm about 3,500 feet. At the upper Hawksbill parking. So there's two options for Hawksbill. You can do the upper Hawksbill parking, like I'm at, and you take this 2.1 mile round trip. It won't take an hour and a half. And 520 feet. I thought that was the much easier option, because you also have the Hawksbill Gap parking, which looks like it's around 3,300 feet. So you have 700 gain or so, but it looks like it's a bit shorter, so I don't really know what's better. I guess it's whether you want to do a little bit longer and less gain, or a little bit shorter and more gain. I didn't really know that coming in. Not sure what I would have chosen. Probably be fun to do like a loop, lower Hawksbill up, upper Hawksbill down, and then take this Skyline Big Meadows horse trail. But that's probably a little bit longer. That's probably around 3 miles, I would say. I'm just kind of looking to take a shorter, easier route. It'll actually be pretty fun. Almost tempted to do that, but this is my fourth hike of the day. I'm just gonna go with it. So, just going off the last hike, going off 2019, did Mary's Rock, which is right at the entrance station, so you don't actually have to pay the fee to enter the park. Yeah, my take on Shenandoah is the trails off Skyline Drive are quite manicured. You just look right here. It's hard to find a single rock on the trail that you can really trip on or call this trail technical. It's just smooth crushed stone, pretty much. So for a national park, East Coast, I guess, national park, that's definitely a bit of a surprise, especially compared with Acadia. Very technical. I guess for Virginia's more south, but the old rag loop, not off Skyline Drive, you should check out the video. Ran that this morning. It was very technical. So the ones off Skyline Drive, even the Appalachian Trail, seem much more manicured. It's kind of like Acadia. You have these short but very scenic hikes just off a kind of main drive. Acadia is Park Road, I believe. And then that's right along you have the ocean on one side, you have the mountains on the other. Climb half a mile, whatever, you get to a really nice view. And then here, same thing, Skyline Drive. You don't really have to earn the views because you're driving way up here, and then you just do these short 1 or 2 mile hikes. Get your pretty good 4,000 foot view. Comparing this with other national parks, I've been to a lot, but very few for repeat visits, or I can say I've really seen it all or toured a lot. Even this is just first time, just this very short hike, driving back home from West Virginia, Highpoint, Mary's Rock, and then this adds a bit today. Camping here, doing Old Rag as a run this morning, and then doing these two short hikes, Stony Man and Hawksbill, and driving the Skyline Drive a few times. So this one's fresh in my mind, obviously. And then the other one that's I've been to more than others is Acadia National Park in Maine. So just comparing those two, like I just said, they're kind of similar in that you have short but scenic hikes, except Acadia, much more technical, much more rocky. You have very steep stuff, iron rungs and ladders. And this park is definitely a gem here. Got like 125 miles of the Skyline Drive. trails galore, stuff on both sides, mountains, views. It's great, but it doesn't even compare to Acadia National Park, which is probably one of my favorite places. Acadia, just having the ocean there, the cold Maine Ocean alongside your rugged small mountains, is just something unique and really special that this doesn't compare to. But this is definitely a great place, definitely worth having a national park, worth visiting. I think bagging the peaks might lose a bit of excitement because unlike other places, you're just doing these short hikes and you don't really have to earn the views and summits as much. Yeah, so whole trail before has been, up to this point, has been very gradual, manicured, no technical sections whatsoever. Another point I wanted to make observation is that it's 81 degrees up here, and you know, that's still warm. I'm sweating. It's not really comfortable to stand around in, or run in, or even hike in, but you know, it's Virginia and it's last day of June, almost July. You'd expect, I came in expecting that every run or hike done in here was going to be like, or in the middle of the day. It's just after 3, I think. I thought every run was going to be, every activity was going to be over like 90 degrees. And yesterday, driving up to see 96, 97 degrees for much of the drive, and then turn on Skyline and it ticks all the way down to upper 70s. That was a massive relief. So if you're going to run in the morning, do your hikes in the morning, or just do short hikes like this in the afternoon. Summer might actually not be the worst time to visit, or at least June. Something to keep in mind if you're gonna go to Shenandoah at some point, which, you know, it's a national park, it's scenic, it's pretty good. I think everyone should try to go to as many national parks as they can. Yeah, 0.7 miles into this, so almost a third of a mile or so to the top. Guess a little bit more than that. Whole thing is just very, very easy. Definitely a hike anyone can do. So there's the lower Hawksbill trail. I guess I was wrong, it looks shorter. It shows 1 mile to parking versus the upper is 0.9. I got 1 mile on my watch, so it showed 2.1 round trip, so I think that's a little off, but pretty close to the summit here. No change. It got a little bit steeper, but still manicured throughout. Hawksbill Mountain Summit, 4,083 or so, I think it was. Highest peak in the park. Got this little stone thing for a lookout, place to stop. Pretty nice. Oh, old rag is right there. Got this kind of rocky summit, cliffside. does remind me of the Northeast a bit. Pretty cool. Alright, so comparing the three mountains today, Old Rag, Stony Man, and now Hawksbill, Ice Peak in the Park. I would say views, 4,000 feet off the skyline, definitely better Hawksbill and Stony Man than Old Rag. But Old Rag is definitely much more rugged, much more interesting trail. Switchback, you earn your views. I think it was 9 miles total. Technical, last mile 2.5 to 3.5. Just, you watch that video, you can see super rugged, lots of scrambles. Might surprise you if you're coming thinking Northeast is kind of where all your scrambles and technical stuff is at. I did think that a little bit. I knew there's some technical terrain here. The scramble was a bit of a surprise. But that's definitely a real hike, I would say. Overall, that's probably the best, like, earn it experience hike. These are definitely short hikes that are worth it. There's really good views. So, ranking the three on views, say Hawksbill here. Great summit, too. I would say Old Rag had the best summit, actually. That was a really nice summit. But this one would have summits, go Old Rag, this, Stony Man, just kind of a lookout. Old Rag was exposed on like all sides. I think that was great. Hawksbill still kind of cliffs, similar to like Mount Tom in Massachusetts or Mount Flume in New Hampshire. Yeah, in terms of views, Hawksbill, Stony Man, Old Rag, they have the extra 1,000 feet. Old Rag is a bit on the outskirts of Shenandoah, where this is kind of right in that ridge line, so you get more mountain views, and you're also 1,000 feet higher up, so that's better. Hiking, definitely Old Rag first, then this, then Stony Man was just kind of, I doubt that's the third best hike in the park or anything. I'd say I did like this one a bit more. Actually, rugged or manicured is kind of up to your preferences. I really enjoy both, actually. I would say for an adventure, long hike, I would like some ruggedness in there, some technicality. For long mountain run, I would like that as well. It does give it more of an adventure, more you kind of earned it feel. But running or walking on really manicured stuff like this, very flat, crushed stone, nothing you can trip on, don't really need to look down so much. It's easy, it's relaxing. I find that really enjoyable as well. I think because this is a national park, they had the money, the federal funding to come and make it like this. Say most single track in mountain areas in the east is going to be technical. So I think that's going to wrap up both this video and my little trio of Shenandoah National Park videos. Overall, Shenandoah, great place. I think as for a rating, I give it maybe an 8. Views, I would also give an 8. I would just keeping in mind that I've done hiking in White Mountains and Acadia, and Acadia is just phenomenal views. I think those are going to be tough to beat unless you go out west or you go to Europe or Asia. For East Coast views, I think Acadia, just the way the mountains meet the oceans, is just, it's stunning. White Mountains, I'll find out in a few days, you know, seeing North Carolina, Virginia, Highpoint, if those views can be tops. But I think for big alpine mountain views, I think those are probably your best East Coast views. Really fantastic, especially Franconia Ridge, Presidentials. The alpine tundra really adds a factor too. I would say with doing more in this park, my concern is that the views are all going to feel kind of similar. When you drive on Skyline Drive, there's like every mile or so there's an overlook, and they all look exactly the same just driving by to me. So this might be a you do one, you've done them all kind of park, but I doubt you're gonna do any of these and be disappointed.